Have you seen Wayman in real life? Wayman does not just eat plants, dude. And he is swole as hell. Yeah, his name is Wayman, as in like, you know, protein powder. Absolutely. He's a moderator here, yeah. Chimps can eat meat too now. How much protein does a chimp eat on a daily basis? How much protein do chimpanzees need? Do you think anybody's ever Googled this before? Probably. They get almost all of their protein from fruits and nuts. 3% of the average chimp diet comes from meat? Really? Only 3%? That's nuts. Chimpanzees can technically be vegan, apparently, although it wouldn't really happen in the wild. That's kind of amazing. A male gorilla could probably easily deadlift 1,800 pounds. This is fucking insane, actually. Like, if you can somehow, some way get a gorilla to lift up a deadlift bar, apparently they would not be sweating 1,800 pounds. Chimps are about 4 to 7 times as strong as man. So only about twice as strong as Wayman. But still, 4 to 7 times as strong as the average person? That's pretty insane. Yeah. Look, you see casually explained strongman video? Did I? I don't know.
This video is sponsored by Incogni. The beauty of strongman is in its purity. You can have a sport like basketball or baseball and think to
I did a little bit of strongman training once upon a time, guys. Mostly because I realized I could never be the biggest guy at the gym at all without using some enhanced protein powders. Let's call it that, yeah. I did a little bit of strongman training, and then at some point my knee started hurting and like shit got a little bit messy, but
yeah, but in the end, what's the point? To entertain, to profit? Is the ball jumping through hoops? So am I. But
wait, so this is a video from 3 days ago? I have not seen this yet. No, let's watch it. Let's watch it.
This video is sponsored by Incogni. The beauty of strongman is in its purity. You can have a sport like basketball or baseball and think to yourself, yeah, but in the end, what's the point? To entertain, to profit? Is the ball jumping through hoops? So am I. But in strongman, the whole idea is crystal clear. I want to be the strongest person to ever exist. You might argue that Tyson in his prime could beat Ali, or that LeBron would have beaten Mike in 1v1, or you think that you have to judge a competitor against the competition of the time. The good news is that in strongman, there's no argument. How big of a rock did your favorite guy lift? Yeah, well, my favorite guy lifted a bigger one, case closed. A problem with other sports is that a lot of them require a lot of skill, but people won't know unless they see you do it. You can be the best skater in the world, but unless you're at the skate park or thrift shop, no one's going to have any idea. But if you're 6'9", 400 pounds, and cause the plane to list to one side...
Is that Hafthor? Is he just trying to get into an economy seat? God, point of view, you're 6'9" and 400 pounds and book the middle seat? Oh no.
On takeoff, people are going to say, hey, is that Hafthor Bjornsson? And your lifetime of struggle will have been worth it for that moment of validation. Even the names of the world's strongest men sound powerful. Hafthor Bjornsson, Zydrunas Savickas, Alexei Novikov, Magnus Ver Magnusson, Martins Licis, Mateusz Kielikowski, and of course Brian, which I pronounce perfectly on account of my English language abilities. The great thing about strongman is you don't even need a reference point to understand how good these athletes are.
Where does he even find these photos? Most bodybuilders are pretty short. Yeah, that's a fact. A lot of the guys are pretty short. Not all of them. It's not necessarily the case. Pretty much all of the strongmen are huge. Yeah, these guys are like 210, incredibly heavy, incredibly strong. Yeah.
About strongman is you don't even need a reference point to understand how good these athletes are. Every guy watching MMA or boxing always thinks they could land a punch or two on Floyd Mayweather, or maybe even knock him out with their lucky haymaker. But when you watch strongman, you have to say, admittedly, I probably couldn't do that one, as you nervously glance at your wife to make sure she's not leaving you. Strongman competitions have their roots in many historical tests of strength, from Scottish Highland Games to feats of strength by circus strongmen, and even going back to ancient Greek mythology when Sisyphus was punished by Zeus to endlessly push a boulder up a hill, only to watch it roll back down as he reached the top. The story goes that every morning he would wake up, inhale 2 scoops of creatine, huff some ammonia, watch a Larry Wheels video, and get ready to smash a new PR, bringing joy and meaning to his otherwise tedious and wasteful life. Similarly, one of the hallmarks of strongman are the Atlas stones, named after the Greek titan Atlas, who is often depicted holding up the heavens and earth on his shoulders. While we now know it's actually just turtles all the way down, at the time the concept was quite inspirational. The 80s were when strongman first became popular as an actual sport, creating legends like Bill Kazmaier, John Paul Sigmarsson, and a host of iconic strongmen that caused many to consider this the first golden age of the sport. Prior to this, strongman featured a ragtag group of strength sports athletes competing on the side
What are
of
they
their main
doing? They're
games.
bending
The
a
World's
bar?
Strongest Man organizers still thought it would be a good idea that instead of using weights, they put a couple girls in cages, attach them to a bar, and have an event called the Girl Lift. While culture has moved on since then, it's only with hindsight we're now able to realize how fucked up it was to ask a girl what she weighs. During the 80s, organizers, realizing that women were real people and not physical objects whose only purpose was to be lifted for as many repetitions as possible, tried instead to objectify the men, ensuring everyone had the shortest shorts possible, and for a brief period introduced sumo into strongman, where the legendary strongman Bill Kazmaier basically scared his opponents into giving up. While events like sumo were quickly thrown out because even though it provided the much-needed boost to strongman's sex appeal, it was simultaneously when Mr. Olympia had fully transitioned from posing trunks to posing thongs, canceling the extra viewership.
Yeah, they did make that change at some point, huh? Yeah, no, for some reason they decided to shorten,
and creating one of the most...
I met Casual Explained, by the way. He went to a StarCraft tournament one day. I don't know if, like, he used to stream a lot of StarCraft 2 too. I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't think he streams much anymore these days, but he actually came to Home Story Cup 20 is what it was. In Berlin. Really fun.
Popular hobbies for straight men ever since. Bill Kazmaier was the man who dominated strongmen in the early 80s. He won World's Strongest Man in 1980, 81, 82, and then the organizers banned him from participating for essentially being too good. While I'm suspicious of that narrative because it doesn't make any sense, I'm going to run with it because it upholds my fantasy. He was athletic, an elite powerlifter, and all around built for strongman. One of the greats of strongman in the 80s and a rival to Bill Kazmaier was John Paul Sigmarsson, who won World's Strongest Man 4 times and was famous for doing a 1,005-pound axle deadlift and exclaiming, "There's no reason to be alive if you can't do deadlifts." He then died later doing deadlifts. Have their roots in many rules around international...
Sorry,
no
I clicked the bottom. Did he actually? That's so messed up. Aortic rupture? What? He did a deadlift so heavy, his aorta ruptured? That thing's huge, man. That is one hell of a way to go. I understand blood can only pressure so much, but you'd imagine you'd pass out before fucking rupturing your aorta. That's insane.
You will regret it in Valhalla. Nevertheless, despite great competition in the 80s, strongman as a sport in and of itself spent most of this decade and the next lost in an identity crisis, trying to figure out what kind of sport it was and what really made a man strong. Was it his mind? Was it his heart? Or was it being able to lift a 345-pound tree trunk above your head?
The last
no one
one
truly knew for some reason, and strongman fell into a competitive lull. Other than having arm wrestling that ended how every popular arm wrestling clip usually does, the 90s were an overall boring time for strongman, as more important things were taking up people's time.
The arm wrestling guys are insane, though. Like, there are so many videos of the arm wrestling dudes going up against, you know, the world's strongest men or, like, big-ass bodybuilders. Those guys are insanely powerful. Don't arm wrestle one of those guys seriously. They will snap your arm in half.
Attention and money. I was being born without my permission, the internet was being called a fad by Nobel Prize-winning economists, capital investment was pouring into children's cartoons, cereal advertisements, and anything to sell mass-manufactured products to Western millennials with an exorbitant markup. While all of these pieces of plastic were fucking awesome, it wasn't the time or place to lift heavy things. But the time was soon to come. In the early 2000s, strongman was still somewhat dormant, but re-emerging from hibernation.
It's popular
where
these
the only
days, man.
person winning things because of rules around international
Is that guy's name literally Phil Pfister? That's a good name.
And lack of anyone really being all that good was Mariusz Pudzianowski, who admittedly was the first strongman ever who wasn't quite as statically strong, but was really fast and had great endurance on account of being jacked out of his goddamn mind. While he is one of the most athletic and decorated strongmen in history, popularized the sport immensely because everyone thought, well, why isn't he really fat? And maybe one of the best strongmen ever, pound for pound, I will reiterate that the spirit of strongman, where our hearts and souls have always been, is who can lift the biggest rock. And he...
This is admittedly what I think of when I think of strongman competitions. Yeah, that... For some reason, it looks like there's a potato that he's lifting and his face kind of turned into one as well. That is an amazing photo.
did not usually
That's a really large potato, man.
lift the biggest rock. And so in the eyes of many observers of the sport, we all thought, nah, I wouldn't choose him as the best strongman ever, but this is of course how I would look if I tried strongman.
True.
With this new popularization of World's Strongest Man and a shift in marketing due to internet popularity, many event changes occurred, shifting from somewhat heavy things done quickly to extremely heavy things done some of the time. And after 2008, when everyone's leveraged CLOs went tits up, it was obvious to most men that if you couldn't get rich, you might as well get strong. And we had a well-rounded and dynamic international competition where Zydrunas Savickas established himself as arguably the greatest strongman of all time. He was immensely statically strong, known particularly for his overhead press, but more importantly, he
502-pound overhead press? Dude, that's insane. That's like, what, 230 kilo-ish? That's like almost 3 of me. On just your shoulders? That's actually insane, though.
ultimately cemented an image in our collective brain cells of what a strong man looks like. A regular tall fat guy, but with a weightlifting belt. As Big Z moved towards retirement in the mid-2010s, he ushered in the peak of what has been called the era of the giants, with the likes of Brian Shaw and Hafthor Bjornsson, 6'8" and 6'9" respectively.
This guy plays the mountain in Game of Thrones.
Became the focus of the sport, along with Eddie Hall, who is instead about 6'8" in circumference. Most strongmen historically have been about 6'3", barely qualifying them for Tinder, and the challenge of these new height differentials meant that one of the most important factors in any strongman competition would be what the events were going to be, because generally speaking, any event where you needed to move something along the y-axis, like deadlift or overhead press, would favor hydraulic refrigerators like Eddie Hall, while events that required weight, leverage, or grip advantages like the Fingal's Fingers, truck pull, or the keg toss would favor the even bigger boys. The Giants era was really a new golden
Eddie Hall is massive too, though. Like, that guy is not short. How tall is Eddie Hall? That guy is like over 2 meters tall too.
If these new human blueprints were going to destroy all previously known limits. And while Brian Shaw dominated for several years through overall well-roundedness, near the end of this era it ultimately became more a pursuit of breaking world records in specific categories. Eddie only won World's Strongest Man once, then said, fuck this, I'm going to be the first person ever to deadlift 1,100 pounds. Hafthor also won World's Strongest Man once, then said, I'm the guy who launched Pedro Pascal's career, I'm going to lift this tree, then I'm going to deadlift exactly 1 kilo more than Eddie. This annoyed Eddie, and they of course settled the dispute the only way that makes sense. Taking the obvious next step, all three of them are now YouTubers. Since the end of their rivalry in the late 2010s, we began the modern era of strongman, which seems to be the age of specialization. While everyone wants the title of World's Strongest Man, especially me, focusing on individual records is much more practical. Guys like Tom Stoltman, who is himself
This is the path I took as well. Yeah, I went from strongman, Hollywood superstar, settling it with a boxing match, and then eventually I started making videos back in 2008.
8 has mastered the art of lifting the biggest rock over a bar.
I was the strongest 12-year-old.
Kielikowski has mastered the art of lifting the biggest rock onto your shoulder, and Eddie Hall has mastered lifting the biggest rock for the most ad revenue. Guys like Martin Glisis seems to just be doing his own thing. Despite there still being healthy competition, the biggest debate in strongman is the direction the sport is going in. While the last World's Strongest Man was won by my fellow Canadian and time traveler Mitchell Hooper, event selection still is the determining...
Whoa, what? Are these old strong people? Strong men? This is the current guy? That is a little bit suspicious, yeah. time traveler, to say the least.
Factor in most strongman contests. I think that a good way to address biased event selection is create events where the weight and what you're supposed to do with it is standardized, but the shape of the weight is not revealed until the day of the event. This allows athletes to prepare for the event, but not specialize specifically for the task. For example, you could have the small rock, the big rock, medium rock for reps, rock toss, rock pull. Really, the options are endless. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Now, while you may not be able to be a strong man, you might be interested in being a safe man with today's sponsor, Incogni.
Okay, fine.
Doesn't get many calls, nor would I answer them if I did. My voicemail is almost entirely spam, whether it's telemarketers, robocalls, my dad, or scammers. Even when I kindly request they stop calling me, they still manage to get my email somehow. This is because data brokers collect your information and hold them in a commercial database, which is not only vulnerable to a breach, but they can sell that data to other businesses, and it might fall in the hands of some sketchy people. This isn't just your phone number and email, but can include your address, social insurance number, and more. Incogni works by requesting on your behalf the removal of your personal data directly from data brokers, and then will automatically continue to follow up and make further communication until the request is successful. The thing that I was genuinely impressed by is the entire process took me literally 60 seconds.
The thing is,
make an account, check out a plan, and then I thought, okay,
just because it's illegal in the EU doesn't mean that it doesn't help, though. It says
278 requests initiated. And then after thinking for a second, I was like, oh yeah, right, that makes sense. Because there are so many commercial databases, even requesting removal manually might take years. But doing it repeatedly to catch newly collected data is practically impossible.
Very cool, guys. You can use, you can get 60% off. There you go, pretty sick. I always like casually explained videos. They're pretty fun. He's got great videos, guys. Is she into you? Is this, maybe, this is only 2.5 minutes. Let's have a look.
I know a lot of guys have trouble picking up on the signs of whether or not a girl is into them, so today I want to do a little quiz so you can see if she actually does like you, or even just how good you are at recognizing signals that you might be getting.
Okay, chat, let's do this together. We can figure it out.
Let's say you're in a bar and you look across the length of the counter and you see a cute girl who glances at you briefly, does a quick hair flip, and then turns back to her friends. Is she into you?
Absolutely not. No. She probably just looked my direction on accident. B or C. I'm gonna go with C.
Eye contact is obviously a good sign, but you really can't tell from this example. She could just be adjusting her hair, and maybe she was looking at someone behind you. So let's say you're at the office and your cute coworker is waiting behind you to make some copies of whatever people make copies of, and she says, "Wow, do you think you could go any slower?" and then playfully punches your arm. Is she into you?
Absolutely not. No, she's upset. She wants to use the printer as well, and I am just slowing down her day. Honestly, hard to say, either B or C. Her name is Natalie Dormer. That's irrelevant.
Again, you can't really tell from this example either. She might like you, but she might just be giggling and punching your arm as a sarcastic middle school throwback. So,
well, yeah, she's a coworker. Yeah.
But really no way to tell. Okay, so let's say you're at the gym on the elliptical for some reason, and Cutie McBooty comes in and gets on the exercise bike in front of you. And then after 5 minutes, she looks back and says, "Wow, I'm so sweaty already. If only there were a way to get the same workout at home riding something else." And then gives you a wink. She into you? Yes.
No, I don't. I think that one's a little hard to say, honestly. Yeah, I think it's option C for sure. I honestly can't tell. Yeah.
Still can't tell with that one. Exercise equipment is pretty expensive, and maybe she lives in a small apartment and just doesn't have space. So maybe you find a good deal on rowing machines somewhere. You can show her the flyer. Okay, so let's say you meet up with a friend that you've had coffee and drinks with a couple times, and she says, "I had a lot of fun on the last few dates we went on." That's a good sign because she thought those hangouts were actually dates. So suppose then she says, "How'd you like to come back to my place and watch Netflix tonight?" That's another good sign. It's usually a pretty good indicator when a girl invites you to do something,
probably not,
especially at her place. So then let's say later at her house, you guys are watching Wall-E or something like that, and she says, "I'm getting pretty bored. Why don't you come upstairs with me?" That's another great sign. She probably has something pretty interesting to do upstairs if it's better than watching Wall-E. So then after you go up there, all of a sudden she pushes you onto her bed, dims the lights, rips off her clothes, and you start having sex.
Whoa!
Is she into you?
No. Absolutely not. What do you mean? I can't tell.
Yeah, again, you really can't be too sure. It's pretty dark in the room, so she can't really see you properly. Maybe she's from Canada and was just being polite. Anyway, best bet is to just keep your wits about you and continue to look for signs.
That's a very helpful video. Yeah. Great video. Great video. Yeah. I hope that helps, guys. I don't know how we got here because my previous Google was how much protein do chimpanzees eat? How did we get there? I'm trying to retrace my steps. We were watching how did we get to the video? Oh yeah, we were talking about Australia being fake. Then we had a video of a man punching a kangaroo. Then we looked up a kangaroo flexing. Then I was reminded of the naked chimpanzee. Then I looked up how much protein they eat because the guy was jacked as hell. And then somebody linked a video of men being jacked as hell on Casually Explains video. There it is. It was a little bit, yeah, a little bit of a stretch, but...
Why do I always come into such a mess? Not like this.
It's okay, Figaro, it's okay. You know my favorite part about this whole thing is there's people watching this VOD on the More Lowko channel. There's probably a timestamp down below in the video comment section of somebody saying mission starts at like 48 minutes or something like that, you know? They've just been sitting here molding, waiting until I finally start the mission. So for those guys, engine of destruction. We're gonna do advanced vehicle. Yeah, that's what we want to get. Actually, no, I don't know if I want to do engine of destruction. Let's do engine of destruction. Sure, we gotta steal the Odin. Advanced vehicles. Mass
31
Goliath.
months sub might be a sing. I enjoy your content, but maybe I'm just that generous. Really can't know for sure.
God, no, for sure, dude. I agree. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Attack speed on hit. Advanced vehicle. Retribution field. Let's see. When salvage, attack range, or irradiation. Ranged units gain +2 attack range. All other units get irradiated. Okay, let's go with that one. All right, perfect.
Our team's in position. We're ready to steal the Odin. Are you absolutely sure about this, sir?
Imagine being upset about Twitch chat distracting Lowko. No. Twitch chat never distracts me. Never, dude. Oh, what? I don't know what I expected. I have a Goliath, a Herc.
Go. This ain't a stealth mission anymore, ladies. Bring it loud and fast.
This is not ideal, but
sir, you seem to have found something very interesting.
launches a missile that splits into explosives. Oh. So wait, this is like a reverse. What? Launches a missile that splits into 8 explosives, each dealing 6 20 versus structure damage in an area. Oh, sorry about that, Goliath. Tygus? No. Okay. Did I finish Lies of P? No. We're gonna continue onwards with that later today. After this mission. One more mission. Does it even work? Like, I throw the grenades, yes, but... does it do anything?
Sir, you seem to have found something very interesting there. If you can bring me a sample in the lab, that would be great.
Ah, it does work.
Activate the auto turrets.
Hello. Aw, I gotta micro the lady. Lowko, rate my setup? Oh god. Whoa, 10 out of 10. I thought you were gonna link your computer setup, but you decided to link your RuneScape setup? 10 out of 10, dude. That's amazing. Very well done.
This ain't a stealth mission anymore, ladies. Bring it loud and fast.
Medic? It is critical, dude. Did you stay alive?
Sir, you seem to have found something very interesting there. If you can bring me a sample in the lab, that would be great.
Activate the auto turrets! Oh, you ain't keeping me from that monster.
I don't like this. Okay, I think I'm dead now. I got a tank right now with my Goliaths. No! Ay, ay, ay. This is actually tricky. I need to be very careful here. Perdition turret, man. I'm telling you guys, Perdition turret is the scariest unit of them all.
Bring it loud and fast.
I guess I'll have to save my cooldowns. Nah, this is already bad. I guess I need to have Tygus tanking here at the start. And then we need to heal him up. And then hopefully everything else will be okay. Is that the character that keeps getting wrecked? No, no, no. Only against, Josh's character in RuneScape only gets trashed against the final boss of Sins of the Father. He somehow convinced himself it's the hardest boss in the game now. I love it. Some copium going on.
Sir, you seem to have found something very interesting there.
It's a tricky fight though, because the ping are actually, like I did it on my main in Poland actually, during I think IEM Katowice. And I found out that if the ping is too high, I can't do it. No, no, no. Oh god. Stop! What are you doing, Tygus? Why am I struggling with the first start of this mission? Ay, ay, ay. It's definitely not easy, no. Dude! This is bad. The Herc does absolutely nothing. No, the Herc is just running around doing nothing.
This ain't a stealth mission anymore, ladies.
Wait, I can repair things with the Herc? How does it work again? Instantly restore 125 life to a mechanical unit? That sounds useful. Okay, he's not a mechanical unit. The medic is dead. Ay, ay, ay.
Sir, you seem to have found something
I think I'm dead
very
now.
interesting there. If you can bring me a sample in the lab, that would be great.
Activate the auto turrets! Oh, you ain't keeping me from that monster.
Okay. I need to Oh, I can rearm. I can rearm my Goliaths. That's what I can do. I like how the mission just throws you into it. Right at the very start. You gotta start running. You have a brand new unit that does not function like the unit normally does. Rearm the grenades. Okay, so I can use the grenades right over here. And then rearm it? And he can like... Oh no, bro. Oh, it's so clumsy. Medic is once again dead.
Sir, you seem to have found something very interesting there. If you can bring me
I'm struggling,
a sample
guys.
in the lab, that would be great.
These units have like 5 health. If I have Tigers in the front, they target down my medic right away. Is it possible that I've accidentally scrapped units that I'm supposed to have at the start here? What if I would have chosen to, for example, scrap the Herc? Would I have the Herc here? There's no way I would have it. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to have more units than what I've actually got, but I've scrapped one of them that I'm supposed to have.
This ain't a stealth mission anymore, ladies. Bring it loud and fast.
Or maybe I'm just bad at the game.
Sir, you seem to have found something very interesting.
But I don't like that option.
If you can bring me a sample in the lab, that would be great.
Activate the auto turrets! Oh, you ain't keeping me from that monster.
Is it critical?
Please! Oh, what? Fuck, dude. You got a micro so hard. That's insane. There's no way. There's no way I can... I think it's possible. But this is a sudden difficulty spike, dude, that I did not expect. Nope, that ain't it. Should I just not heal the Herc at all? Maybe I should just not bother with the Herc whatsoever. But the problem is the Herc has a healing skill for my other units. Okay, fine, I'll give up on the Herc. Maybe the Herc is complete bait, man.
You rang?
The derp Herc.
Sir, you seem to have found something very interesting there. If you can bring me a sample in the lab, that would be great.
Activate the auto turrets. Keeping me from that.
Maybe the Herc is just a fucking bait, man. Oh my god, just not caring about the Herc is the solution. Literally easier without the Herc. Like, the Herc did nothing this attempt. And that makes the medic just heal up Tigers only. I was trying to keep them both alive, but that's a mistake. All you need to do is just right-click the healer. Okay. Alright, guys. Time to take it serious, I guess. What's the unit again that I unlock here? The Goliath?
Not enough minerals. Not enough. Not enough minerals.
Well, it'll undoubtedly be better than
Where does it hurt? Need some
the Wraith. No, Herc, you don't get to live. Execution. Oh, the Goliath sucks as well. Okay, fine, you get to live.
Sir, I'm picking up Dominion.
I might need some more units.
Course with the Odin. Hey, Hotshot,
Please
you
heal.
want these Wraith fighters now? They'll take down a battle cruise Reese. You can build more to stop.
Those are my Wraith fighters right over here. Okay, so that only hits ground. But they're pretty good in air-to-air, though.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, good. Yeah. Wraith Cloak. Fantastic. I'm glad there's a bit of a description over there. What units do you think I should make? Probably Warhounds, actually. Warhounds are kind of awesome. Plus they have all the buffs as well that the Goliaths will have.
Jimmy,
Partner?
partner, can you hear me?
I cannot hear you, buddy.
Well, if you ain't gonna tell me not to have a little fun, I'm gonna have a little fun.
Anti-air, anti-structure, siege walker.
Here I go.
There are some marines in this mission too, though, so I can't just go mass unit. Yeah, I can make Hercs to repair Tigers, I guess, which is kind of interesting. But I can also just not spend my gas on that and use it, you know, do it with SCVs instead. I really like the Warhound model. Maybe a strange thing to say, but these guys look really cool. What about they change the Cyclone in multiplayer and just put in the Warhound instead? It'll just have the exact same stats as the Cyclone does right now. It'll shoot missiles too, but I think it'd be fun. It'll sound like a brand new unit, because it would be a brand new unit. Yeah, it looks like an SCV. Kind of. Oh, no, wrong button.
Your forces are under attack. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCBs to fix some of this damage. Starting to feel a mite sluggish.
Does he always talk this much, sir?
Yeah, but once you get him in a fight, he never shuts up.
Okay.
Well, now that's done with. I'm gonna take me a little break.
He brought some liquid refreshments, though.
Brought me some liquid refreshment.
What's going on, Soulless Elf? Hello, hello. How are you doing today? Maybe a couple hellbats? I guess any sort of mechanical unit will probably do okay.
Not enough minerals.
Not a bad idea. I'm using the Giant Grand Games campaign manager in order to run this.
There's nothing like knocking back a cold one on top of your enemy's smoking corpses.
Hellbat, coming through.
I see your little guys running around down there, dude. Like ants.
Not enough minerals.
Okay.
Not enough minerals.
Never go on a killing rampage in a giant murder machine without some liquid refreshments. True.
I can't wait no longer. Here it comes.
I don't know what I'm gonna spend my gas on in this mission. I guess I can mass cluster rocket? That sounds kind of fun.
Not enough minerals.
Can I spam my cluster rockets? Oh, no. Not like that I can. Okay, that's kind of fun. Ooh, okay. That's more enjoyable than I thought it was gonna be. That's what she said. No, chat. Inappropriate. Spraying grenades. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make Mass Goliath, even though I don't think it's gonna be great at pushing into like sieged up positions. It's gonna be kind of fun. Now I know what you're thinking. Fun? Secondary. Why would anybody have fun while playing a video game? Video games are serious business. And I would agree with you, but it would be kind of enjoyable.
Our allies are being attacked.
It's heating up out here.
Okay. Flashy red button.
Oh, you're learning the Terran... Oh, okay, so you just started playing StarCraft 2? You're playing the Terran campaign for the first time? Yeah, so I'm playing a custom campaign. I've done the main campaign of this game so many times that at some point it becomes a little too straightforward, I guess, and it's just not that much fun anymore. But there's an active community of modders out there that basically changes the entire multiplayer game. Or, sorry, the entire single-player game, rather than multiplayer. And it's pretty insane.
I have no idea what that is. Can you bring me a sample in the lab? Maybe something good?
Modders, modders.
Reckon you boys will need some time to catch up.
I feel like the grenades don't deal a lot of damage somehow.
Easy.
There's a lot of modders too, I guess, that change the multiplayer. Fair. I feel like this mission's gonna be kind of tricky, guys. Maybe I'm just bad at the game? No, it must be the game.
SCVs are under attack.
What? Oh, I lost. Yikes. I forgot about the Reaper group. I lost the command center. That's very painful.
Not enough minerals.
This is my army, guys. It's a whole lot of nothing. I'm not even sure what unit I want to make while pushing into sieged up locations like that. I probably just want to make bio. Bio would probably be the easiest way of doing it.
Let's go.
But bio is also kind of boring. Reapers? Nah, I don't know about Reapers.
We got heads to break.
The Reapers are kind of fun, but not very good. The grenades are awesome, though. Just that he's gonna push really far here. Yeah, Reapers are good against buildings. I'm mostly concerned about the siege tanks and whatnot.
This is gonna hurt you a lot more than it's gonna hurt me.
If I let the Goliaths stand behind the Odin, I'm gonna have to pull a couple SCVs over here, though.
Some of this.
Boom.
Upgrade complete.
Okay.
Not enough minerals.
Time to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
I love bubblegum. Could have ended that sentence differently, but no, chat. That would be inappropriate.
Not enough minerals.
My family-friendly show ruined by myself. Almost. Yeah, it's okay, Sigard. Okay. Boom, baby. You've been really enjoying how quick the games can be in comparison to something like AoE? That's actually my main gripe with Age of Empires. Other than the fact that the game is just not quite as good as StarCraft, but... it definitely is so much faster paced. But I think in some aspects though, StarCraft 2 is a little too fast.
Three bases down. Maybe the convict has his uses after all.
You know, I think I'll take me another breather. You better get some backup ready for me, Jimmy. In the rear with the gear.
Gonna make a couple of bunkers over here too. They provide supply and obviously are very powerful. I was gonna say there should be an attack wave.
You reckon these Dominion boys will put up a fight this time? I ain't barely broke a sweat.
Dude, these units are strong though. I feel like my units are taking a lot more damage this mission all of a sudden. Maybe this is what happens when you don't play vultures. Vultures are just that good. Your main gripe is that you're shit at RTS. Being shit at RTS is relative though. I feel like I'm pretty shit at RTS too, if I'm being honest, dude. I mean, I know I'm not horrible, but like there's so much that I can improve on still that it's even after playing these games my whole life. Everybody is shit at RTS games in their own right, guys. I'm sure if you ask Cero, are you good at the game? He's gonna tell you, I'm pretty good. But, you know, he's not gonna say yes.
Upgrade complete.
Do I need vision of that high ground? I do.
A lot more than it's gonna hurt me.
Oh no. Can I rain some grenades? Okay, that works. Gonna have to pull some SCVs here, try and heal him. Yeah, he'll probably be okay.
Not enough minerals.
I can't wait to dig into that. Scientifically, I mean, I'm not going to eat it.
Weird clarification, but ok. Oh, I had a second one this entire time. Okay. Gonna need a pretty large army here, though, for the final section. I feel like I'm just barely scraping by this entire mission so far, but... Probably playing the wrong units. I'm playing the units that I unlocked in this mission. That might be a mistake, guys.
Add-on complete.
The Lowko is over here. Yeah, I need to go get it. Hey. How are you doing, dude? You guys kind of suck, don't you? Ay, ay, ay. At least it uses Yamato sometimes. It makes it not destroy my army.
This is gonna get tricky. I'm detecting battle cruisers at the next base, and the Odin doesn't have strong anti-air capabilities.
Scramble more
I can make
Start.
Hercs and Reapers only.
We can handle those battle cruisers.
Now that was fun. Don't worry, old buddy. I'll give you some time to catch up.
Oh no.
Well, I'll be. Those dumb Manian eggheads really thought of everything. Pardon me a moment.
Dude, so many units.
Base is under attack.
Okay.
Mineral field depleted. Add
A little bit of an attack wave over here as well.
There we go.
No, 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 don't go yet!
You ready yet?
Mate, I've barely got any units, Tigers. Getting wrecked over here. Tigers, don't even think about it, mate. Okay. Go, go! You guys are stuck behind the SCVs?
depleted.
I was assuming you guys would start walking. Oh, that's a scientist. Don't kill the scientists. They're bad for, you know, it's bad for their health. Not for my health,
Mineral field
but, you know, for
depleted.
them. Scientists have feelings too, chat. Little known fact about scientists.
I hope you're reading this, Jimmy, 'cause I'm heading for the last base now.
I got body blocked. Now the question is, do I have enough? Okay.
That ain't fair.
Not enough minerals. Mineral field depleted.
Okay. I think we're alright. I think we're alright, yeah.
Time to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
This mission in the Mindhawk Gauntlet Challenge was nuts.
How'd I miss this button with a skull on it?
Nuclear launch detected.
Baby, you're in for a whirl.
You want to go in? Okay, fine. Let's go in, chat. Let's hug. Mission accomplished.
Excellent. With the Odin secured, we can hit the UNN complex on Core Hall and make our broadcast.
Hey,
Another war crime? What do you mean another war crime?
maybe next time you'll trust old Tychus.
It's a stealth mission, guys.
Him.
That's about all I trust you with, Tychus.
We successfully achieved the victory. I don't know what you guys are complaining about right now. Mengsk would understand. Me and my buddy Mengsk, we get along really well. Okay, one more mission. I'm gonna do one more mission, and then we're gonna switch to some Lies of P. Let me just double check real quick if today's YouTube video is ready to go. Let's see, does it work? Welcome back to another high-level match of StarCraft 2. What I've got for you today is a best-of-5 series of Terran vs. Zerg, where game number 1, a Terran player decides to go for 8 ruined! I thought I could do my video intro, but I messed it up, man. How many ads? Oh god, YouTube put quite a few ads on this particular video. They're like, yo, how many ads? Would you like some ads with your ads? Thank you, YouTube. Every 3 seconds, every time I breathe, it's like, ad break. At the end of every sentence, ad break. I'll remove a couple of them, YouTube. Thank you very much. Okay. YouTube video is ready to go. I'm gonna publish it. Boom. You can go and claim first, chat. There it is. Has anybody claimed first already? It's been live for 6 seconds. What? Welcome. It's been 10 seconds. One comment. There's one comment. Let me see who got the comment. Memory is usually very good at it. Oh, there it is. Nice. Ah, first first, fifth, second, third. Yo. Are these bots? No, bots wouldn't make typos like that. Are you calling Barnacle Bob a bot? This is probably, yeah, this could be I don't know what's going on here. There's a lot of love going on, I can tell you that much. They could be bots, maybe. Your first comments are very sophisticated. Hi Lowko, are you gonna make viewer games sometime again, or no? I do want to do some more viewer games, yeah. Roblox Dino Error. That's a great name. Okay. One more mission, and now we're gonna switch games. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, and you are new here, hit the follow button. I stream pretty much every day.
We have the Odin.
Fire bets unlocked in New Folsom.
Seems you're...
The Hercules and Tyrador, okay. Lowko, I only have the unfollow button. Yeah. Sis, when you see that one, click it, man. Repeatedly. Over and over and... No. Actually, no. Don't do it. No. Hold up. Liberators? I would kind of like to have liberators. Anti-air splash, anti-ground transformation. When salvaged, raw damage. Okay. Interesting. So this is a starship. I have a new upgrade available? I probably do. Let's have a look.